town of Black Hollow, the chilling winds whispered secrets of the past. Rumors swirled like the dense mist, tales of the horrifying events that had unfolded within the walls of the old prison. It was here that Victor Hale, a man infamous for his brutal murders, had been executed. His trial had gripped the nation, as he claimed that forces beyond his control, the demons, had compelled him to commit heinous acts. As the gavel struck for the final time, Victor's last words echoed through the chamber, chilling the hearts of every witness. "I am not the monster you seek. It is they who walk among us." The crowd buzzed with skepticism, but as he was led away, a strange unease settled over Black Hollow. Days after his execution, the town held a dim candlelight vigil, mourning the lives lost and the shadow that Victor had cast over their lives. But amidst the sorrow, an eerie phenomenon began to unfold. People started experiencing unsettling sensations, an inexplicable dread that clawed at the edges of their sanity. Whispers in the night echoed of Victor's haunted last words, and one by one, residents began to see unusual changes in their neighbors. It started with Jeremy, a local mechanic known for his jovial demeanor. He had always been the kind of man who brought laughter and warmth to the community. One evening, however, a palpable chill swept through the small workshop where he toiled, and as the shadows lengthened, he began to feel something stir within him, a darkness that was not his own. A simple touch had entrapped Jeremy, an uninvited guest slipping into his very soul. The moment he grasped the cold steel of a wrench, a shiver coursed through his body, and whispers began flooding his mind, urging him to do the unimaginable. Day by day, the once kind mechanic transformed into a brooding and erratic figure. Friends began to notice his change. His haunting gaze and unpredictable temper left them on edge. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Jeremy's dreams twisted into nightmares dominated by the specter of Victor Hale, who beckoned him from the shadows. The townsfolk could feel it, a thick dread hanging in the air, suffocating them. Those closest to Jeremy reported feeling a heaviness, as though a malevolent presence clung to them, creeping closer with each passing day. One fateful night, a small group of friends gathered at the local diner, hoping to confront their fears. They could no longer ignore the strange occurrences. Around the table, they shared stories of feeling watched, of finding items misplaced, and visions of Victor's sinister smile haunting their dreams. "Maybe we underestimated his claims," Sarah, a fiercely skeptical journalist, whispered. "What if he truly was possessed?" With disbelief yet a flicker of fear in their hearts, they decided to confront Jeremy. They arrived at his workshop, only to find him surrounded by a dim candlelight, the shadows dancing ominously against the walls. Their breaths hitched as they witnessed a transformation. He stood tall, eyes dark and deep, a smirk twisting his lips. "You shouldn't have come," Jeremy spoke, but it wasn't entirely his voice. It was layered with something darker, echoing Victor's infamous tones. The room grew colder as the friends exchanged panicked glances. One by one, they reached out to him, desperate to help the man they once knew. But each time they did, the air crackled with electricity, and they felt an icy grip wrap around their souls, the touch of the demon eagerly leaping from Jeremy to them. Sarah, being the bravest, stepped forward to confront whatever had taken over her friend. "Fight it, Jeremy. You're stronger than this," she shouted, her voice trembling but resolute. Just then, a flicker flashed across his eyes, revealing a glimmer of the man he once was. For a brief moment, it seemed like he might break free, but the laughter of Victor rang out mockingly, drowning Jeremy in darkness once more. "How delightful," the demon hissed. "The more I touch, the more I spread. This town will belong to me before the dawn breaks." Fear engulfed them, and panic took hold. They had come seeking to save a friend but now found themselves entangled in a sinister web spun by an ancient evil. In the dead of night, as the town slept uneasily, strange occurrences escalated. A wave of violence flooded Black Hollow, with once harmless townfolk turning against each other, possessed by the spirit of Victor. The streets echoed with screams, bizarre confrontations, and surreal shadows flickering in the corners of their eyes, a cacophony of madness unleashed. Now, the once bustling community lay in ruins. Paranoia gripped the hearts of the remaining few who had resisted the dark possession. Sarah, clutching a keepsake of Jeremy's, a small wrench, vowed to break the cycle of torment. She delved into ancient texts and spoke with elders who knew of exorcisms and the power of light against dark. As the sun rose, illuminating the fog-covered town, Sarah confronted the darkness consuming her friend and the haunting remains of Victor Hale. In the depths of the night, she performed the ritual, a chance to wrest control from the demonic grip and reclaim the lost souls of Black Hollow. With each chant, the air thickened, and Jeremy's battle raged within. The shadows writhed in defiance, fierce whispers screeching in agony. As the final words echoed like a bell through the haunted streets, Sarah could feel the darkness recoil, a scream of pure malice erupting from Jeremy's lips. Finally, the echoes faded, and silence reclaimed the streets of Black Hollow. Yet, Sarah could still feel the chill in the air. Victor's essence was palpable, lurking in the distant shadows, yet slowed by her courage. Though the town began to heal, she knew the grip of the darkness would never fully release its hold. Each touch was a reminder that the demon could still reach out, waiting to travel through unsuspecting hands. And as she looked around, Sarah understood that the true horror lay not just in the act of possession, but in the fragility of their humanity, always at risk of being overwhelmed by the darkness lurking just below the surface.